For the longest time, robotic exoskeletons were strictly the stuff of science fiction movies, right? But what if that kind of tech wasn't just for blockbusters? Well, there's a new open source project called OpenExo, and it's making these powerful suits a reality for everyone. Today, we're going to dive into exactly how they're doing it. So let's just start with this one big question. What if building a suit that enhances human movement wasn't locked away in some high-tech lab? What if it was something you could get your hands on, something available to anyone with a great idea? This is the core vision we're going to unpack.
All right, to really get why this is such a breakthrough, we've got to look at two things. First, the incredible promise of this technology, and second, the huge problems that have kept it locked away for so long.
So what is an exoskeleton, really? Well, simply put, it's a wearable robot. It's designed to support or even amplify your body's natural movements. And the potential here, it's just life-changing. I mean, think about it. Helping someone recover from an injury, enabling a person with a neurological condition to walk with confidence, or just easing the burden for workers in physically demanding jobs. But here's the big problem, right? For years, commercial exoskeletons have been these closed-off proprietary systems. They're incredibly expensive, we're talking prohibitively expensive, they're rigid, and they're usually built for one single purpose. The dream, the ideal, has always been the complete opposite: open, affordable, and flexible. And that huge gap between what we have and what we want, that's exactly why this amazing tech has been stuck in labs.
So the question is, how do you bridge that gap? Well, the answer lies in a framework designed to completely change the game, OpenExo.
The whole mission behind OpenExo is pretty simple, actually. It's to hand the keys to the lab over to everyone. By providing this foundational platform, it lets researchers, students, and makers jump straight into the fun part, innovating and testing new ideas, without having to build an entire system from scratch every single time. And when we say keys, we mean they're giving you the whole toolkit. You get modular hardware designs, you can 3D print yourself, plug-and-play electronics, open-source software, and there's even a Python app for controlling it in real time. It's the whole shebang, a complete ecosystem ready to go. And this brings us to the real secret sauce, the big idea behind OpenExo. And honestly, it's a beautifully simple one: modularity. The whole philosophy is so easy to grasp. Just imagine you're building with high-tech Lego bricks instead of, gluing a bunch of parts together permanently. Instead of one big, rigid device, you've got all these different components you can just snap together. This means you can easily swap out motors, test new sensors, or try a different control strategy without rebuilding the entire system.
So what does this Lego-style approach actually look like in the real world? Well, it means you can build different setups for totally different needs. Let's say you need some help walking up a super steep hill. Pop on the hip support module. Or maybe you need assistance with repetitive heavy lifting. No problem, just snap on the elbow support. It's all designed from the ground up to be adaptable.
Okay, so it's a great idea, right? But the big question is always, does it actually work? Well, the data is in, and the results, they are pretty darn compelling. Okay, check this out, a 14% reduction in the energy you use. So what does a number like that actually feel like? Well, it means that when you're walking uphill with the hip support on, that really steep climb starts to feel more like you're just walking up a gentle slope. This isn't some tiny tweak. It's a significant drop in physical strain that makes a hard task noticeably easier.
And the results for the elbow support? They're even more dramatic. Get this. Without the suit, a person might be able to do, say, 10 lifting reps. But with the OpenExo support, that number shoots up to 25. It more than doubles. And you're doing it with less muscle strain. That is just a massive boost in endurance.
And look, it's not just for these really specific heavy-duty tasks. The ankle support setup has been shown to improve key things for just everyday mobility, like walking speed and stride length, even when used outside in the real world. And all of this is why OpenExo is so much more than just a cool piece of hardware. It really represents a fundamental shift, a move toward a future for health technology that's more collaborative, more open, and way more accessible for everyone. And this whole platform, it's built for that future. Because it's open, it's the perfect playground for the next wave of innovation, integrating AI that adapts to your body in real time, adding new biofeedback sensors, or experimenting with smart materials. It's about building a global community to push the boundaries of what's possible. And this really gets to the heart of why all of this matters so much. Because for millions of people who struggle with movement, whether it's because of age, an injury, or just a physically demanding job, this isn't some fun gadget. It's a key to freedom, to dignity, and to real opportunity. So by making these incredibly powerful tools accessible to all, OpenExo has basically kicked the door to innovation wide open. And that leaves us with the most exciting question of all, doesn't it? Now that the door is open, what are we going to build?